Hello, y'all virtual reality lovers. Welcome back to our channel. Today we've got a real big ball of energy with us. A partner who didn't just open one location, but went in all to build a big chain of entertainment parks. This is George. George, welcome.
Hi, Vita. Hello, everyone.
Today we're gonna have a real honest chat about the numbers, his challenges, and how he's building his empire. Let's dive in. George, let's kick things off. Tell us about your projects and what's the vibe at each spot.
Of course, our first and largest project opened in July 2023. It's not just a VR arena, it's a huge entertainment park covering a total area of 3,500 square meters, of which 840 are the playing field for the Battlestar VR arena. Plus, we have laser tag, attractions, and arcade machines. We have plans for even more entertainment. We're creating a place of power for the whole city. The second project is a bit smaller, 800 square meters. There too, you'll find a VR arena, mazes, and a cozy lounge area where both adults and kids can have fun and enjoy a great evening. And we also host corporate events and parties. And that's not all. In total, we have 4 parks, cool modern parks with VR attractions and mixed reality.
So you went straight for building major entertainment hubs with Battlestar VR as your main anchor, right?
That's absolutely right. It's a strategy.
Awesome! Let's get to the part everyone's curious about, the investment. What did it take to get a project this big off the ground and how fast did it pay off?
I've always followed the principle that it's better to start at a C level and then quickly improve to an A+. That's why our opening dates are flexible. The initial investment in the first arena ranged from $17,000 to $29,000. Plus, we're constantly improving and adding new things. The monthly expenses for one club are about $4,000 to $5,000, including rent, salaries, utilities, and subscriptions for all 4 clubs that we have actively operating.
And what was the payback period with the investment?
Taking all monthly expenses into account, we broke even in 6 months and started making a profit after 9. Currently, the average monthly revenue per arena during the season is between $11,000 and $15,000, and in the off-season, it's between $6,000 and $9,000.
And what was the biggest headache when you were starting out? The renovation, paperwork, finding the right space?
The biggest challenge was, of course, renovating such a large space. It was my first time dealing with something like this. Where do you get the materials? How do you organize everything properly? It was just a headache. There was a whole story with the premises as well. The first time we chose based on our budget and tried to save money. Now we choose so that our arena is the biggest and coolest in the city. And it works.
And what kind of support did you get from the franchisee, from our team actually?
On this matter, I can say one thing. The guys from Battlestar provide everything you need. The full package, training, setup, marketing, everything was top-notch. I could say a lot about you, but it's better to work with you once than to hear about it 100 times.
Thanks. So what worked the best for getting the word out and bringing customers in?
Targeted ads on Facebook and Instagram worked best for us, along with word of mouth. That's a rock-solid combination. Give people a quality product and they'll keep coming back and bring their friends. On holidays, our average bill per group can reach up to $200. The most important thing is that we started our promotion almost a month before the opening. Bloggers, targeted ads, banners, local news hooks. As a result, we had a full house for 2 days straight at the opening. And after that, it just snowballed. You create value for the product in the information space even before it appears.
And do you have a lot of regulars? How do you keep them coming back?
Of course, our regular guests are the best. To keep someone coming back, you have to be a cut above any possible competitor. Software, venue size, service, loyalty program. Guests will still go to others, compare, and make their choice. People aren't stupid. They'll always choose higher quality for the same money.
So why did you ultimately go with Battlestar? You had options.
It's simple. Because it's the best software on the market. Before this, I played a lot of VR games and Battlestar products. When it comes to physics, graphics, the process, by every parameter, it outperforms other projects. Secondly, there's maximum loyalty to partners. There's constant communication, shared chats. We meet with partners and the Battlestar team at exhibitions, and we're the first to test new games and give feedback even before release. I think everyone wants to work with the best. Why work with anyone but the best, if they're available? Some people say, oh, the subscription fee is expensive, but what Battlestar provides is actually very cheap if you consider the value. Other franchises charge the same, but offer much less. And of course, the support. It's responsive and always available. There were times when I messaged Anastasia late in the evening, and at 11 at night she would help solve the issue if she was on shift. That's what I value. The support is top-notch.
What was your experience before this, and how long did it take you to open?
I had absolutely no experience with VR. It took about 4 or 5 months from signing the contract to launch, including renovations and preparations. And the story of how I got into business is simple. About 5 years ago, I tried VR for the first time in another city with some friends. I was so impressed that for 2 years, I lived with just one thought: to earn enough for my own park. I worked without days off, invested all my money, all my savings, and I have never once regretted it.
And what would you do differently if you started now? And what was your #1 piece of advice for newcomers?
I would put a big emphasis on finding a team and reliable material suppliers in advance to save time and nerves. I would look for the most cost-effective suppliers right from the start. And my main advice for beginners: don't be afraid, be confident in your abilities. A lot of people open up thinking it's easy and then close down after a while. That's not the case. You need to learn, gain experience, and have inner strength. By the way, almost all of my managers are former athletes, masters of sports, and this business has a lot in common with sports. You need endurance, determination, and discipline. If a person has won in sports, they will win in business too.
George, huge thanks for such a genuine and detailed story. Wishing you massive success with expanding your network.
Thank you. It was great.
And if you want to make it all happen to yourself, just submit an application. Link in the description below. Stay tuned with Battle Start.